Welcome back, YouTube. Ponzi from Iron Out Fat, and as you can tell by the video, we're going to talk about the positives of fat loss, but more specifically what I have found are my positives for fat loss, or what I have experienced so far. So we're about 60 pounds down. And I know I've been here before, I've talked about this before. So I started off at 345, my first week weigh-in, after my first week of dieting, I weighed in at 342. And I've fallen off the wagon before, but I'm doing it again, and I'm trying to keep the weight off. I've managed to keep a bunch of it off over the summer, because summer is my hard time. So what we're gonna do is talk about what I've experienced and the positives for me with fat loss. So we're just gonna go down the list really quickly and get this done. One of the biggest things that I've noticed when I put the weight back on is the out of breath. So going upstairs is just annoying that you're so out of breath and you're like this can't be my life, you know what I mean? Like, this can't just be the rest of my life where I just go upstairs and I'm just out of breath all the time. So being out of breath isn't just going upstairs. It's basically doing anything, like getting up off the couch. You don't have that spring in your step anymore. You don't just like jump off the couch. Like, I can't really do that anymore anyways because of my back injury. But you know what I mean? Being out of breath, like going to work, there's certain things that are just like, that put you out of breath, and you don't even need people to recognize it. Like, some people do recognize it. They're like, holy jeez, man, you're out of breath. Like, what did you do? Did you run inside? You're like, no, I just walked inside. Like, it's, and then you notice it yourself. Like, you notice it. It's not, people don't have to tell you that. And when you lose some of those pounds, you realize it's just easier to do things. It doesn't feel like you have to strain just to get out of your car or get in your car. And so that to me is like a huge positive. Like, there's a lot of positives when it comes to when you're overweight and like obese and grossly overweight. Like, what do you call that? Morbidly obese. Like, they don't even call it that anymore because people are so afraid of being called that. They get all offended about it. But it is what it is. Like, there's nothing healthy about being overweight. Don't, like, all these people talking about that, like, that's a whole other topic I'll touch on later, but there's nothing healthy about it. So moving on, the second thing is clothes fit better. So not only clothes fitting better, but when you go to a regular store and your options are slowly getting bigger and bigger and bigger. When the bigger you get, the less your options are. Like, they're like, I don't know about the States, but here in Canada, most like Walmarts and stuff, they don't have like a section for big guys. Like, they have big clothes, but like when you talk about like when you're getting over like the 4X sizes, they don't really have very many of them. I think they do for women. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't shop on the women's side that often. I don't shop there, so I don't know. But for men, like when you get to and I'm tall too. I'm 6'2". So according to Walmart and their men's clothing, especially pants, you're not allowed to be tall and fat at the same time. I don't know what it is. Maybe there's a guy that goes in there before me and just like buys up all the stuff when it comes in, and I go there and there's nothing there. But so you're allowed to be tall and thin and short and fat, but you can't be tall and fat for some reason. I don't know what it is, but that's one of my biggest positives. And I keep all of the clothes that I bought when I was lighter, when I was smaller, I keep that. So when I lose weight, I can now go through my closet and be like, oh, I can wear this again. I can wear this again. Or like, I also had really bad choice in like pants length. So I went back to look at like old pants and they would fit my waist, but I'm like, back then I wore pants too short. I was a nerd, I guess. Like, I didn't know how to dress myself. I probably still don't know how to dress myself these days. But, you know, it's really nice to go, like, there's a coat that I wore, man, I think it was like 5 years ago now. I fit into that coat now, and I really like that coat. I kept it. And I think I subconsciously kept it because I knew that I couldn't sustain being this big, and I knew that I didn't want to be this big the rest of my life. So that's why I kept it, and I fit into it now. And it's not like I fit into it like it's snug. It's actually loose. It's loose on me to the point where I could wear it every day now. And now it's winter, so I get to wear it. It's awesome. These are good feelings, you know, like when you get to wear these clothes and that you fit back into them, you're like, man, I've basically turned the clock back 5 years almost. And I'm hoping to keep turning it back. I'm still gross. I'm pretty sure I'm still like morbidly obese. I'm 6'2" and 310 pounds roughly. So I still got a ways to go. But when I first started, like if you go way back in this channel, I was 370 back then. I lost a lot of weight. I got down to 305. And then because I was using the keto diet and I didn't understand, you know, calories in versus calories out, I hit a plateau and I didn't know how to get past it. So I gained all the weight back. I got frustrated, gained all the weight back, and I went back up to 370. It's 371 roughly. I think that's the last place I weighed myself. And I said, I came to that wall. I was like, I can't keep doing this. I got to lose the weight again. So this time I'm hoping and I'm trying that this will be like the lifestyle change. This will be the life change. I'm gonna, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be on the straight and narrow. I'm gonna make mistakes, and you never know, I may screw up again because I'm not perfect. So we'll go from there. But when it comes to like losing weight, one of the positives is definitely fitting into better clothes. I can go to your normal store and there's more options for me, like to just get regular clothing. They fit better. That's another big positive. So yeah, and on the same line as clothing, you don't have to go to special stores anymore. Like, it's so annoying that you have to go to a special store to find more variety of the clothes in your size. You don't have to, like, settling for what's at Walmart is like, you're either wearing like construction clothes or it's like really lame jeans. Like, they're just lame, you know what I mean? They're not nice, faded, like the dark colors, you know what I mean? If you get style, if you have any kind of sense of style or you like looking good, then Walmart isn't the best choice when you're limited on your options. And then, so another positive around all this, when all this starts happening, along with the weight loss, is your mental well-being. I find that I'm a happier person when I'm not that heavy. When I start going down in weight, obviously you're happy when you lose weight, but I was just not happy at that high weight when I was sitting around 350, 360, 370. I was not happy. It was just, I was disappointed in myself, I guess, and there's just a lot of reasons to make me not happy. And now that when you start losing weight, you feel better about yourself. It's almost like you're taking back control of your life. You fitting into those clothing makes you feel better. Having more options makes you feel better. Not being out of breath makes you feel better. It's mentally refreshing. You know, you feel better about yourself. You're doing something for yourself. It's really, I don't know how to put it in different terms, like to make it sound different, but just when it comes to your psychology or how you think, you just feel better. And when you feel better, you act better towards other people. You're not such a prick, I guess. I don't know, to call it what it is, but when you're walking around with a chip on your shoulder because you always peed off, like, people see that, and you're unapproachable, you're just not as happy, you're not as fun to be around. So that's another point. So I guess another one would be, for me, my back injury. So I have the back injury, and obviously the weight doesn't help. The weight is not helping that. So I realized that. I said, like, I'm not gonna go to a doctor, or I would prefer to go to a doctor and then say, if they're gonna say, hey, losing weight's gonna help, I can at least say, yes, I realize that, I'm working on that, I'm down such and such amount of pounds, I am trying to, what would you call it? I'm trying to get that part of the equation out. Like, like, you know what I mean? Like, if it came down to it, the doctor's like, well, you need to lose weight, and this is going to help you here, you need to do this. Why wouldn't you do it? Like, it's going to help you, and I don't know if if anybody of you have had back pain, you don't want to live with that the rest of your life. I don't want to call it annoying. It's frustrating when you have back pain and you can't do certain things. I've never had an injury like this before. Like, nobody understands it really. And it's a very complicated injury too, because depending on what type of back injury you have, you may have pain all the time. You may not have pain all the time. It may be finicky. So like, what are you gonna do? Like, you need to do everything you can, unless you just unless you give up on yourself and just say, well, this is it, and you throw in the towel. That's not me. I can't do that. I can't just throw in the towel. I want to live longer. And that's another, so that kind of moves on to another point. Living longer. I have a 10-year-old daughter. I know and I recognize that being overweight limits your life expectancy. It does. That's you don't see very many old people that are grossly overweight. You don't. It's just the way it is. It causes complications. So I have a 10-year-old daughter, and I would like to live a good long life and enjoy it with her and be there around for her, and that's a positive in itself. So moving on to the next one, that kind of moves into like the health part, and like, I don't really want to get into all the medical and health benefits, but the list is pretty long. You know what I mean? Like, losing weight decreases the risk of diabetes, lowers your blood pressure, improves cardiovascular levels, decreases risk of heart disease, decreases risk of certain cancers, improves mobility, decreases joint pain. And I'm prone to that. I know my grandfather has bad knees, and I can feel them coming. Like, I know they're coming. Improve blood sugar levels, decrease risk of stroke, reduce back pain, which is, that's for me. Decrease risk or improvement in symptoms of osteoarthritis. Ugh, I can't even pronounce that. Decrease risk or improvement in symptoms of sleep apnea. That's another thing too. When you're sleeping, when you're overweight, you snore more. And I don't have to get into the reasons why. We all know why you snore more, okay? Like, you add weight, you're gonna snore more. And if you lose weight, you get better sleep. You get deeper, more fulfilling sleep. You snore less. It's better, like, your partner doesn't have to listen to you. Like, maybe your weight gain could be affecting your relationship. Maybe you sleep in different rooms because of your weight gain, whether you're too big for the bed, or whether you snore too loud, so you have to sleep in different rooms. Like, the list goes on. So don't tell me that losing weight, there's no positives. Like, come on. Let's be real, people. There are so many positives to losing weight. You can't count it on all your fingers and toes. So that's my video. A lot of that is my opinion on how I feel when I've lost some weight, and I still have lots to go. So maybe I'll be adding more to that list as I try to lose more weight and get to a healthier body fat percentage and a healthier weight period. But thanks for watching this video. I hope you go and click that like button. I will give you some time at the end of the video to click that like button. Share this with everybody you know. Comment down if you have any more positives of weight loss that you've realized or that you've experienced, or if you have negatives. Like, what's the negative? Like, I think there's like one negative. You don't get to eat the food you enjoy like a pig. That's the only negative to weight loss, really. You don't get to eat that junk food. It's not even like you don't get to eat it at all. You still get to eat it, just not all the time. Maybe once a month. You know what I mean? Maybe twice a month you get to eat it, and you only get to eat a small amount. You don't get to eat that whole medium pizza to yourself, because I did. That's what I did. So there's not very many negatives to losing fat and getting healthier. So I gave you time to hit that like button. You better have hit it. Comment, subscribe, share it with all your friends. And let's get healthy. Let's lose some weight. Let's do this. Till next time.